Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gurjava session. We are into OOPS concept, and yesterday we have started constructor also. And yesterday recording is shared to those people who has attended the session to their email IDs privately. Okay. Now we are into constructor. What we have seen yesterday. Let me give you a quick review. Yesterday we started with one question: how many ways we can create Java object? Okay, so these are the ways we can create Java object. The first is using new keyword. The second way is new instance. The third is by using clone method, by using factory method, and by deserialization. Okay, now we know new. These are the 5 ways. We will see step by step whenever we are in the Java long that package. We will use this clone method. When we are in serialization, we will see deserialization, and we will see during factory method. Once my concept singleton design pattern will be done, I will show you this factory method, how we can create using this way. Okay, now using new instance, how you can create. For example, you have one class student name. I have given one example, right? You can pass that class name, class dot for name, and dot new instance. What it is going to return, this output of this right hand side, same class. Okay, so you are again creating an object of student class. So this is how you can create using new instance. This we have seen yesterday. Now we have started yesterday constructor concept. Constructor object creation, we should perform initialization. What is the purpose of constructor? For performing initialization, then we go for constructor. Okay, then object creation will be properly worked. Okay, so constructor main purpose is to perform initialization object. For example, this is one class student which is having variable int x, int y. So how many types? Default and parameterized. So this is what default constructor inside the class. This is parameterized constructor in the class. We have taken so many examples yesterday. So class name and constructor name should be same. If you are not passing any parameter, then this is called default parameter, default constructor. If you are passing any parameter inside that constructor, then this is called parameterized constructor. We can pass single parameter, we can pass n number of parameter. It depends on how many variable we are taking. This we have seen yesterday. Yesterday we have seen constructor or instance block. We have seen what is the purpose of constructor and instance block. Okay. Then we have seen rules for writing the class name, construct, and method name. Then yesterday we were in we have seen so many example of constructor. Then different format we have seen, right? Whatever, whenever we are creating some code, how compiler is generating its own defined code in background. Those examples we have seen yesterday, and we have seen multiple program. Now we are into this topics, super versus this keyword. Yesterday we have created so many example of constructor where we are getting this super keyword, right? Super method. What is the purpose of the super and versus this we are going to see, right? Now try to understand. First we will say some example, then we will see how we can utilize this super and versus this. There are two more keywords are there, super and this. This is super method, this is this method. But apart from that, there are two more things, that is super versus this. So what is the difference between this and what is the difference between this? We are going to see today. Okay, now try to observe. Always the first line inside every constructor should be super or this. What is the rule? In every constructor, in every constructor, there should be first line where we need to mention either super or this. These are the first line. If you are not using this, then we are going to get compile time error. Let's see programmatically our statement. Let's say this is a parent class. If name is parent, it doesn't mean parent unless it has child. So I am not extending, just think this is a one class, simple class. Let me try to create one constructor for this. How we can, what is the shortcut? What is the shortcut? Alt, Shift, S, then press O. It will give constructor, right? Generate. See, default constructor is generated. One line is coming, super. Can I delete this? No problem, right? If I am not giving any super, compiler will give that line. Okay. Now try to observe what is my statement. Can I use system dot out dot println any statement here before this constructor super call? No, right? It is giving error. So can I copy this and paste below super method? Yeah, now it is fine, right? So this statement is justified, right? In every constructor, there should be first line where we have to mention this, either super or this. Okay, now try to observe. Can I use this also here? Can I use this also? No. Can I comment this super? Try to observe, guys. Try to observe. Why this is error? We are going to see. What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of this? Why it is error? I will tell you. What is the error? See. Oh, invocation, recursive constructor invocation parent. We'll see what is this. But try to observe. We cannot use super and this two both together. We cannot use. We cannot use. We cannot use. We cannot use super. We cannot use super or this both at the same time. Both at the same time. We cannot use this. That we have seen just now, right? Now, try to observe. ठीक है. And where we can use this statement? We can use super or this only inside constructor. We can use only inside constructor. If we are using anywhere else, otherwise we will get compile time error. Try to see this now. I am not keeping, this is constructor, this is my constructor. Save this. Can I use super here? Can I use super here? No, it is giving compile time error, right? Can I use this keyword here? Can I use this keyword here? No, this is error, right? So these are the error coming. So this is our statement justified, right? Super and this keyword regarding. Now try to understand what is the difference between super and this. Super versus this. Super versus this. What is the difference? Try to observe. First point. These are constructor call. These are constructor call. What does this mean by constructor? Constructors call. These and super, these are used to call constructor. For calling constructor, how we can call, we will see that also. We can use these two methods to invoke super class and current class constructor. Very important, guys. Very important. This constructor as part of interview Every concept they will ask you. Okay? So you should be able to answer. These are constructor. This is also used to call constructor. This is also used to call constructor. And we should use only one inside constructor as first line. If we are using outside constructor, then we have already seen what? We have seen what? Compile time error. Apart from this is the purpose. Super is called, what is mean by super? Super means parent. So super used to call invoke super class. Super is used to call super class. And current class constructor who will invoke? Will invoke this. Okay. And can we use static reference? No. Now try to observe. Let me create one main method. You know, right? Main method is static. Public static void main. Public static void main string args of array. Right? This is static area. That is static area. Right? Can I use this system dot out dot println? I am using super dot hash code. Super dot hash code. Super dot hash code. What is the spelling? Super. Now try to observe. Super dot hash code. In constructor, when I'm using this super dot hash code, no error. But here it is error. Why? Because this is static area. Non-static variable super. This is non-static variable. This is what? Non-static variable. This is variable, guys. Try to observe. Understand the concept. This is super. This is what is the syntax? Super. What now I am using what? Super. Don't get confused between super versus super. This is to call constructor, na? Now try to observe. Now what is super? These are keyword. Try to observe. Now I am trying to explain you super versus this. What is this? These are keywords. These are keywords. Okay. These are keywords. Okay. So we can use this for referring parent class and current class. For referring parent class, we use super. For referring current class, instance member, guys. These are for calling what? Constructor. These are used for calling instance member. For calling instance member. You know, right? What is instance member? Method. When static method, instance method. Member. When calling, for calling instance member, or calling instance member, or calling instance member of a class, or calling instance member of a class, we use super or this. Okay. Now if we use anywhere except static area, we will get compile time error. So what we are getting now? This is keyword, guys. This is keyword. I'm getting compile time error. Now remove that. Run as a Java application. Perfectly fine. No problem. I'm not calling constructor. It's fine. No problem, right? Fine. Now try to observe. Next concept. You understand this, right? Don't get confused between this. Always people get confused. That's why I'm focusing on this. Super with this syntax, this with this syntax. These are to call what? Constructor. This is to call parent class. This is to call current class constructor. Okay. And these two are keywords. These are calling members. These are calling constructor. These are calling members. Whenever super means, think about super class. This means current class. This means current class. This will call current class constructor. This will call members. Super will call, this super method will call super class constructor. This super keyword will call super class members. Hope you are good. These all you have to think, you have to remember, and you have to understand. Okay. Now, next concept is constructor overloading. Constructor overloading. What are, you know, right? Overloading, method overloading, you know, right? What is mean by constructor overloading? Class contain more than one constructor. Same way, right? This is public class. This is public class. This was public class, right? This was public class. How we are doing method overloading? There is one method, M1, one method, then M1, one more method with variable int of x, right? This is method name. This is public class test. This is public class test. Okay. So these are method overloading. Copy this, paste here, int of x, comma, string of y. These are called method overloading. Same method, but different parameter. These are called method overloading. Similarly, what does mean by constructor overloading? Just, just think about constructor. Method name and class name never same. Method name and class name are never same. But this is method name, this is class name, right? So how, what is the naming convention? Class name and constructor name are always same. Okay? Then what it will be called? Constructor overloading. How we can justify this statement? Let's come here. This is one test class. Come here, test class. When I'm talking test class, we will use test class. What is the shortcut? What is the shortcut? Alt Shift S O. Generate. What is generated? Instead this I can I write system.out.println? Let me do system.out.println. System.out.println. What is the name? Can I give no param constructor? Can I give this name? No param constructor? Till this fine, right? Can I make it parameterized? Can I pass some value? I am making constructor only. Can I give some value? Int x. Can I give some value? Int x. Int x. This is fine, right? Can I copy this one more parameter? Constructor. Okay. Instead of int x, can I give some double? Let me give double. Instead of x, I will give d. This is int param. This is called int param constructor. This is, we can call double param constructor. Perfectly fine, right? Now try to observe. Can I use main method? Can I use main method? And whatever we have learned, can we apply those concepts to this? How we can call constructor to constructor? Let me not coming. Let me manually type public static void main. What is the parameter? String arg of square bracket. Then this is fine, right? Now it is fine. How to format? Select all, Control Shift F. Formatting is done. Okay? Now, how I can create this constructor? Object creation na guys. Test t equal to new. This is called object creation. Now what I am doing? I am calling constructor, initializing constructor. Test. Forget about left hand side. Observe right hand side. I am creating one object of which class? Test class. So using initialization of constructor na, that is the purpose of constructor. So with this, I am creating object, initializing the object of which constructor test mean test class. So this is going to give me output of what? Try to observe. It is going to give me the output of what? Hmm. This line is perfectly fine. How to get the output of any statement? What is the output expected? What is the shortcut? Alt, keep the cursor in that line. Alt, Shift, L. It is going to give you an output. See, if you are not aware of the output, what is the shortcut in Eclipse? You know, right? Let me give. This is fine, right? Now try to observe, guys. Try to observe. Can I run this? Perfectly fine. One is called, right? One is called. Can I call one constructor inside another constructor inside another constructor? This will be called constructor chaining. Can I call this? Can I call this? Let me call. Let me try to call. What is the keyword? This keyword. Can I pass one value? Can I pass some value? What is my statement? What is my statement? We cannot use this or super in as a second line. Always this should be first line. Of Control X, paste here. Now fine, right? Means my constructor will be called this whenever this constructor is called. Where it is calling? Here. So now this it is going to call what? This, right? This constructor. Observe, guys. This and super are two keywords. This keyword is used to what? Current class. Which is my current class? Test class. Which is my current class? Test class. Which is my current class? Test class. It is going to call what? This is this method. Try to observe. Try to observe. This and super. When I'm passing some value here, we can pass na. It is going to match. How we are calling method? Same way we are calling constructor. This is going to call current class constructor. So now this is a constructor. Try to observe. This is a constructor, right? I am passing some value inside this. Okay, now it is going to match which what I am passing inside this number. What I am passing inside this. Try to observe. This is something constructor. Whatever the type of value I am passing, it is going to see na. I am passing 1, 2, 3 something. It is of what type? Int type. Where is int type? It is matching na. This is double type. So it is going to call this constructor. Hope you are understanding. Same way how we are calling method, same pattern, nothing else. Can I run this now? Now, what is calling first? Before, if I am commenting this line, I comment this line, observe the output. Observe the output. What is the output? No param constructor. No param constructor. Why? This is main method started and this is calling this constructor. When this constructor is called, this constructor has some logic. So this is printing na. This is printing. But what is the circus of this keyword? We cannot use this keyword in next line. We cannot use this keyword in super or this method. Super and this method can we use in next line of our logic? No. That's why it is giving error. So I have to keep here, uncomment this line. First, whenever this constructor is called in line number 22, this is called, this is called, this is called here, this is called, this is calling this constructor, right? After this, what is the first next line? This. So it is matching with which line? Here, this 11 will be pass here. And then this line will be printing first. This will be printing first. After this line, control will come to next line. So then this will be your second output. Hope you are getting right now. So now try to observe. Run as Java application. That's why first is calling int parameter, then it is calling no parameter. Okay. Now, can I pass some similarly? So this keyword, can I pass some value? Can I pass some value? Let me give 10.5. This is double value, na? Double value, right? So this is going to call this constructor. Then this is going to call double constructor. This is one way of calling. How to format? Select all, Control Shift F. Save this. Now try to observe what is the output. First is calling double, then int, then no parameter. Finally, no parameter. Why? 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 Try to observe. This is our first call. Perfectly fine. This call is going to where? This call is going to where? This call is going to call this inst constructor. What is the next line? After this, what is the next line? This is of int type. So it is going to call this parameter, this constructor. Okay. Now, what is the first line here? This is this. What is the value here? Decimal na double. It is going to call. It is going to call this constructor. So what is going to print? Anything else is there? No, only sys out statement. So this is your first output. This is your first output. This is done. This is done. Now call will come back to where? This part is done. This part is done. Now after this output, it is who is calling this double? It will come back there. It will come to this next statement. This is done. This is part done. So next statement. This is your second output. This is your second output. Now this part is also done. Who is calling this constructor? This constructor. So this part is also done. So this from here, which is going to print, this is your third output. Hope you are good, guys. This is the flow. This is the flow double parameter, int parameter, and constructor parameter. This is called constructor chaining. This is called constructor chaining. There is chain, na? There is a chain, right? One constructor is calling another constructor. This is called constructor chaining. Okay, now clear the screen, clear the drawing. Come here. This is one way. This is one way. Can I comment all this line? Comment control question mark, control question mark. Perfectly fine. There is no this keyword, right? Now you understand the value of this keyword. Sorry, this method, right? Now, can I use this object creation? Copy this, paste here, paste here. Perfectly fine. Let me give test 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is calling default. This is going to call parameterize. This is going to call 10.5. But what is the order? First constructor. This is called, so it is going to print. After this, what is the call? This is the call. So this is going to print. Third call is what? Double value parameter. So it is going to print. Can I run this? Run as Java application. Now, no param, int param, double param. Now, again, control this, control this. Now try to observe. Param default is going to call. Default is going to call int parameter. So, okay, int parameter, it will come here. It is going to call what? Double parameter. Where is double parameter? This is double parameter. So this line is going to print first. Okay, now try to observe. What is happening? Try to observe. See, first is double parameter, then int parameter, then no parameter. So this constructor chaining is done because of this line. Try to observe, guys. This line, because of this line, what is called? Because of this line, this constructor is called without parameter. Inside this, which is the line? This with value int. So then it is going to call this constructor. But inside this, what is the first line? This keyword with 10.5 means double value. So this is going to call this parameter. So first output will be double constructor parameter. So it is coming here. Once this part is done, double parameter, who call this? This constructor call, right? This line work is done. Next statement is int param constructor. So this is the output int param constructor. This complete work logic is done. Who called this test int parameter? This default constructor. Which line this called? This part is done. This is going to print. So now this is who called this test? This part is done. Now come to this. Now come to this. Again, this is going to call where this line matching this one. This one. Now, what is there? So till now you are good, right? This line are fine. But again in this line, what is calling? Test parameter, int parameter. Inside int parameter, what is we are again calling? Double. So again it is calling double. So that's why double param constructor. Again, what is printed? Double parameter constructor. This call is done. The call will come to here. Then this line again printed int param constructor. Who call this? This constructor call is done. The control will come to this line. What is the value here? 10.5. It is going to call this constructor. This call is done. Again, double param constructor is printed. The logic completed. This completed. Control will end and finish the output. This is how constructor chaining. Okay. Hope you are good, guys. Hope you are good, guys. Okay. Now. You are good with this keyword, right? This keyword. Now. You understand constructor overloading? Constructor without parameter, constructor with int, constructor with double. So these are same constructor now. They are loaded. So that is called constructor overloading. And we are calling constructor inside another constructor. These are called constructor chaining. Hope you are good till this. Now, next point. What is the next point? Parent class constructor by default won't available to child class. Hence, inheritance concept is not applicable for constructor and overriding also not applicable. What is the rule for overriding, guys? First, I want to override some parent method into child method. What I should to do? What I need to do? Extends. I need to use this word extend parent. Then only inheritance is coming and whatever parent method will come to child, right? But in case of constructor, parent class constructor not available to child. What is the important point? Parent class constructor not available to child. Not available to child. This is important. If parent class constructor itself not available to child means what is not possible? So inheritance not possible. Inheritance not possible. If inheritance not possible, what does this mean by? Overriding is not possible. Overriding is not possible. In case of what? Constructor. But we can overload. But we have seen. But we can overload constructor, right? But we can overload constructor. We can overload constructor, but we cannot override. To override, we require inheritance, but we cannot override inheritance because constructor is not available. Don't get confused between method overloading and constructor overloading. Don't get confused between method overriding and constructor overriding. Overloading is possible in method also and constructor also. But method overriding is possible only for method, but not for constructor. Till now we are good. Now, next concept. We can take constructor in Java class, in any Java class, abstract class also, but we can't take constructor inside interface. We can create let me create, this is fine, right? This is parent class, this is constructor, fine. It means we can create constructor. Can I make this class abstract? Abstract. Abstract spelling is wrong. Now it is correct. Abstract class, I can use constructor. Perfectly fine. Now, any interface is there? This interface is there. Let me open parent interface is there. So what is the parent name? This is the parent name. Can I create one constructor inside this? Let me try. What is the error? Interface cannot have constructor because object creation is only valid for whom? Object creation is only valid for whom? Classes. Okay, now next point. Now you will ask, we cannot create object for abstract class, right? There is three concepts. One is class, one is abstract class, and one is in interface. In interview, they will ask you, right? We cannot create object for interface. It's fine. So you are not able to use any constructor inside this interface. That is fine. But this is abstract class. But abstract class object creation is not possible now. Then why we are creating this? Why this is allowed? Why this is allowed to create parent constructor inside abstract class? The answer is abstract class constructor will be executed for every child class. Okay? Whatever abstract class is there, right? Abstract method will be there, maybe, right? So what we are doing, abstract class constructor will be executed for every child class object creation to perform initialization of the child class. Again, I am repeating. What is my question? Try to understand. What is the question? Interview question. This will be your inter question. We cannot create object. We cannot create for object for abstract class. This is valid, right? But it can contain constructor. But it can contain constructor. It can contain constructor. Constructor. Why? This is your question of interview. This is your interview question. They will ask you, right? What is the answer? The answer is abstract class. Abstract class constructor. Abstract class constructor will be executed for every child. For every child. Every child. Class object. Creation. Perform the initialization of child class object. This is my answer. Read carefully. Here, read carefully. We cannot create object for abstract class, but why we required constructor inside this? This is abstract class, right? Name of the class is parent. Don't confuse it. This is not means purpose is not parent. This is a name just. This is abstract class. We are keeping one parent constructor. What is the need? Why it is allowed? So abstract class constructor will be executed for every child class object creation. So child creation object and to perform initialization of child class. Right? That is what we require. Now try to observe, guys. Who is parent? This. Where is the child? Let me create one child class. This is child, right? I am extending parent na. Remove this other. Try to observe. This is your child. This is your parent. Parent is what? Abstract. Okay. Now try to observe. I am using. Can I use one? Can I use the student is child class? Okay. Now can I use constructor Alt Shift S? Go. Generate. Perfectly fine. This is created, right? This is created. Now try to observe. Now try to observe. I'm removing this main method also. Okay. Now come here. Can I use the system.out.println also here? Okay. System.out system.out.println this dot hash code. What is hash code? Hash code is to print what? The address, right? Now try to observe. This is one child class. Can I create one main method? Main method public static void main for void main string of args of can I create child object now? I want to create child object now. Can I create one child object? What is the child name? Student s equal to new student. Okay. Now can I use this statement here? Copy this. Try to observe what I am trying to explain. Observe this what I am doing. Then you will understand the output. Right? Now, instead of this, S I will use. Try to understand. Run as Java application. Every time same hash code is printed, na? Every time same hash code is printed. Let's debug this for more detail. Debug as Java application. Student s equal to new student. Okay. Now try to observe. This is deep. Which class? Child class. Student name. It is going to call which constructor? This. What is here? Super. Who is super? Parent. Parent class super. Now, can I keep constructor here? Debugger here also. In parent class, I am keeping debugger. Now, can I do F6? It will go to next line. Where is the call happening? Now observe. Where call came? This constructor. What is the first line? Super. Can I do F6? Where we came? Parent. Inside parent, what is this? This dot hash code. What is going to print? One hash code is going to print. Hash code is printed. This is done. Who is calling? Who is the caller to this parent constructor? That call will come back to that class, that constructor. This constructor call is done. Now this line is going to print. What is this? Again, same hash code, right? Now, this logic is done. Who call this student? This. Now which line is going to print? This line is going to print. But what is in this line? S. I'm trying to print S dot hash code. Hash code of this child. What is the hash code of this child? Let's print that. See. Same hash code is printed now again. What is my statement? Whenever we are creating child class object, then parent class constructor will be executed. Abstract class constructor will be executed for child class object creation. This is abstract class, guys. This is abstract class. Abstract class, right? Why constructor is available here? So that child, so that child object creation can be possible. If I am not using the super keyword, who will provide this super keyword? Let me delete this. Who will provide this super keyword? Compiler by default. If I am not giving, can I keep debugger here? Debug as Java application. There is no super keyword na. Sorry, super call. Super method is not there. Still it is calling. It is calling because I am not giving super method here to call the parent class super constructor. By default, compiler is doing. This concept is also justified here, right? Okay. Without super keyword, who is making the equivalent code? Yeah, I am not giving the constructor. Then what is the default code for this? If I am not giving any super here, what is happening? Who is doing? It's equivalent code compiler is creating na. What is how it is creating? Public students, something like this. Compiler is doing. Then it is giving super na in background. Then your sysout statement is there. Whatever this dot hash code. This dot hash code is printing. That is fine. But who is giving this? I am not giving this time. But still parent call is called. From this constructor, parent abstract class is called. So to call super class constructor, who is parent? Who's parent? Who's parent? This is the parent. This constructor is called. This constructor is called because of what? Because of this super. This call is called. This is call is happening. Hope you are good. Till now you are good, right? Hmm. Now this concept is done, right? Now. Now. So that's why object creation is not possible for this. Okay. Object creation is not possible, but it will perform initialization. Can I try to create one object parent p equal to new parent? Is it possible? Error, because this is abstract class. Cannot instantiate the type parent because it is abstract. But can I remove this keyword? Abstract. Can I remove this? Save this. Error gone here, right? Normal class object creation is possible, but when I am doing Control Z, save this, error is coming in this line because abstract class object creation is not possible. Then what is the need of this constructor? To provide the object creation for whom? Child. Student is a child. Whenever we are doing, its default constructor is called. Inside default constructor, if I am not giving, you are not giving super. If we are not giving super, then it's duty of compiler. Compiler will provide by default the super. Who is super of this student? Parent. It is matching. Yes, it is going to call for just initialization of the child. This is the rule. Hope you are good, guys, till now, right? Now we are going to understand recursive functions. Recursive, recursive function. Okay. I will give definition and tomorrow we'll recursive function. What is in my recursive function? A function is called using inside. We are calling one in another, right? That you will see. We are going to see tomorrow. Recursive function. Manual days. Tomorrow our agenda will be recursive function, singleton design pattern. Okay. After that, we will see some interview questions. Okay. Then we will see static block and instance block. Once this topic are done, we are over with OOPS concept. Okay. Now I'm stopping my screen share.